Hi everyone, it's Rachel back with the Shades of Orange. Today I'm here to do a really unique and fun horror book haul. But before I get started, I do need to give you a little bit of a backstory. Bear with me for anyone who's heard this already, but about a month ago I got a really nasty comment on one of my videos. They attacked me as a horror reviewer. They said that I was a phony, I didn't review books fast enough, and they ended their comment by complaining that they didn't understand why the Nightworms would have chosen me as a representative for their packages because of the fact that I haven't yet read the book Frankenstein. Now, I shared this with the business owners for Nightworms and they decided to put out a blog response that was amazing. First off, they said so many kind words defending me and why they chose me to be a rep. And then they went on to basically point out the fact that horror gatekeepers are just really icky people that decide whether or not you're a true horror fan, whether or not you've read a particular book. And the response was great. Everyone online really came and just supported me, and it was wonderful. So for those of you that have watched my horror unpackaging for the Nightworms, you've already heard that story, but the reason I wanted to bring this up was the fact that after that blog post came out, one of the publishers that works with the Nightworms reached out to them and said that they wanted to send me a care package and asked for my address. Of course, they just checked with me and made sure that I was okay sending it to someone, but I did not know who it was and I did not know what they were sending, but I was just tickled pink. And the package arrived and it blew my mind. I thought it might just be like one book, which would have been so generous to begin with, but I got a package from Paul, who runs Thunderstorm Books, and he sent me 7 hardcover books. If you're familiar with Thunderstorm Books, they put out special edition, really good quality editions that are limited and signed of all these beautiful horror books, and I am just overwhelmed by his generosity, and he just basically wanted to thank me and just show his support. And so I thought I wanted to turn around and show these 7 books to you. They are absolutely gorgeous and the stories within them sound fantastic. All that being said, let's finally get into the books. First, I'll show you the only book in this haul that I've actually read, and I got a chance to read it via Kindle Unlimited before this book showed up, but that is The Switch House by Tim Meyer, which is about a couple that agree to go on a reality TV show where they swap houses with someone else. The story starts after they return home, and the woman is worried because she gets a feeling that there is a presence that is in their house and there's something not right. This novella is a lot of fun, and I just enjoyed it quite a bit. You haven't seen my review yet, but it is coming, and I'm very excited to have a nice physical copy of it because, again, I didn't own it, and I'll definitely be reading this one again at some point in the future. Next, I have a short story collection, and that is The Vault by Richard Chizmar. And this is an author that I recognize his name because he co-wrote that book with Stephen King. I believe it's Gwendy Buddenbox, which I haven't read. And this is a collection of short stories, like the title suggests, that are coming from his vault. So these are stories that he actually wrote in the 80s and 90s and then put together in this collection. I know very little about him as an author, so I'm curious to check him out. Now, the other short story collection they sent is Night Moves by SanGiovanni, and this is another one that I hadn't heard much about. I've never read the author before, and these are all stories that just play with the darkness, and they're supposed to be full of obsession and questioning people's self-respect and self-worth, and it just sounds like a really interesting collection. I'm hoping it's very feminist because I do really enjoy reading from a feminine perspective when it comes to horror. So this one is very much high up on my list, and I just love this cover. Now, speaking of gorgeous covers, this is the one that first jumped out at me, and that is Hunter of the Dead by Stefan Kozeniewski. Hopefully I'm saying that right, and let me get the shine off of this book. And this is a story about a world that has vampires, and as the title kind of implies, someone is hunting them down. This one sounds like a good blend of horror and fantasy, and I just am really intrigued by it. So I've heard it's very dark and gruesome from the reviews I looked up, and yeah, this one is very high up on my list as well. And this next one is The Corpse and the Girl from Miami by John Urbancik, and this is another gorgeous cover. I am so intrigued by the premise of this one. It's about a man who wakes up on a freshly covered grave, and he has a bullet wound, and he does not remember what happened or who he is. However, when he checks his wallet, he finds a driver's license, and the name on there happens to match the name on the gravestone. And he basically has to piece together what happened. It certainly looks like he's come back from the dead, and and I'm a huge sucker for stories with the trope of someone waking up without their memory at the beginning of the story. So I'm hugely intrigued by this one. I love a good mystery. As well, we have The Buzzard Zone by Ronald Kelly, and this is about a future where there has been an infestation that has caused 94% of the population to die out. Those who have died have come back as undead that they call the biters, and this story follows a group of survivors that have to escape their home when the biters start to attack. And the story goes from there. It definitely sounds like a zombie story. You know I enjoy those, and I'm just hoping it'll have kind of a different twist because I've read a lot of zombie stories at this point. But it sounds like a lot of fun, and I will keep you posted. Finally, I have this one here, which is Ferocious by Jeff Strand. This is about a man who is raising his niece in an isolated cabin out in the woods, and one day animals that appear to be undead start attacking this one. And my understanding is this is one of those classic creature features. It sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't read a creature horror book in quite a while, so it's probably about time I came back and revisited the subgenre. So that is it for this video. A huge thank you to Paul from Thunderstorm Books. Not only were these books a wonderful gift, but the fact that they are hardcover and limited edition and signed is amazing. I am so excited to check all of these out. So I have 2 questions for you to leave in the comments. First is, which of these books would you like me to prioritize for review? Because I now have 7 new books to fit into my overwhelmingly large TBR. As well, let me know which cover was your favorite. I will have links to all the books down below if you want to check them out on Goodreads. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you again soon in another video. Okay, bye-bye.